Hi, this is Bob from Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff. And if you're looking for an online Toughbook community that gives tips, tricks, and support, hit that subscribe and the bell button for notifications of all our newest upcoming videos. Today, I'll be answering a few of your questions on the CF-31, so stay tuned. So today what I wanted to do is spend a little time with you guys and just answer some of the more common questions that show up in the comments. I don't get to all of the comments that are questions that are written down, but I try my hardest to answer as many as possible. So I picked a few of the most common questions and I'm going to talk about them today. This first question comes from Adventures in Camping with Carl. So Carl, your question is, what are the two slots for the compartment above the disk drive? And well, let's take a look at the actual compartment, which is on this side here. And I think he's talking about the CD drive where you would put the CD-ROM drive or the secondary battery, or you could even put a secondary hard drive in this slot with the right caddy. The two slots that he's talking about are right here, and one of them is a PCMCIA slot and the other one is a PC Express slot. And what those slots allow you to do is buy upgrade cards, and some common upgrade cards might be, for example, memory cards. You could pop a PCMCIA memory card. This is probably aging me a little bit, but that is a bit older technology. The PC Express card, you may have a piece of equipment that you need to connect to the computer, and they will send you a card that plugs in there, and then you would plug your piece of equipment so that the laptop could communicate with the equipment. That's what those two slots are. In addition to that, while I'm here, I'll let you know, there's also an SD card slot. And for those that may have wireless problems in the future, this is your on-off sliding switch for your wireless card. So if you wanted to turn off wireless, you would just use this switch. And that is, so Carl, that is what these two slots are. So my next question comes from Brenda K. Ashoff. And Brenda, your question was, first of all, you thank us, and well, you're very welcome. How do I clean the keyboard? The keys are sticky because a Pepsi was spilt on it. Well, Brenda, that's a very good question, and it's going to kind of depend on which keyboard you have. I'm assuming that the keyboard that you have is either a backlit chiclet keyboard, such as is on this unit, or it could be the standard chiclet keyboard. The problem is you can't really get rid of the stickiness with water. You might want to try removing the keyboard and washing it out. I wouldn't dip it in water or anything like that, but you might be able to use some spray and clean up that way, but it's going to be very difficult for you. I will tell you that. Typically, whenever we have those kind of problems, it's just easier and faster to replace the whole keyboard. And good news is the parts on these units, like the keyboard, pricing is coming down, so you're able to pick up a replacement keyboard relatively inexpensive. You could try eBay. We offered a keyboard on our website for sale. I'll put the link down in the description for the keyboard, for the various keyboards that we carry for this unit. But that might be your easiest solution, because I'm not seeing, I've thought about it a little bit. I don't think you'd want to use water or any kind of liquid. And with the Pepsi, that might be your only solution. I don't know if anybody has any other ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And our next question comes from Joseph Sagati. Why would the USB ports on my CF-31 not recognize my USB device? I don't think they are fried. Well, that could be any number of causes for the USB device not being recognized. I'm going to say that the first thing I would look at is, are the drivers for the USB ports properly installed? you can go to the device manager and check on any unknown items that might pop up. That might be the quickest first step. The second thing that I would say is your USB board may be bad, and that's why it's not recognizing any of your USB devices. In that case, you would simply need to buy the replacement board. It's a pretty easy fix. We even have a video on that, and I'll leave the link for the part for the CF-31s down in the description for that. But I would first look at my drivers and make sure they were all properly installed. That might be the quick and easiest, that'll be the easiest solution if that's the problem. Other than that, you'll have to replace the board. Another thing I would do is I would definitely double check my USB device and make sure it's operating properly. So try a different computer with your USB device, make sure that is not the problem, and you may be spinning your wheels otherwise. So that's what I would do. Our next question comes from Des Lee. Des Lee asks, how do Toughbooks operate in very cold weather? She's saying negative 20 degrees centigrade. Wow, that is very, very cold. These are weather resistant. In other words, they can operate in very cold weather as well as very hot weather. Now, what will happen in the CF-31 is the hard drive actually has a heater on it, which one of the reasons hard drives fail is they try to start up when they're very cold. That's why the Panasonic includes a heater wrapped around the hard drive. It will not turn on if it's too cold to operate. So it will heat that hard drive up, and when it's at the proper temperature, it will then kick your unit on. So you can't kill this unit if it's way too cold. And that, I think, is the best answer I got for you on that one. Our next question comes from Crash and Burn. Love that name. Why would you upgrade to an SSD? Well, sir, we did an entire video on comparison of the standard hard drive that comes with a CF-31 that's a mechanical hard drive versus an SSD that Panasonic offers in their CF-31. And the SSD beat the mechanical hard drive, hands down. You need to watch that video and you will see the performance difference you will get based on the SSD drive. I'm going to leave the link right here and include it in the description so that you guys can take a look at that video. So that's all I got for you guys. Check out that description below where I'm leaving all of those links that I promised you, and I'll see you guys next week.